a chair?
Yes, please.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Yeah.
You sit down.
Do you want to pass it over?
I was going to
Bring it
next
round.
door.
They need theirs, don't they?
I'll move that one.
You're going to wheel it round. You're right, Sue. So you just sit on this one.
It's got a hole.
Signpost. It's changed, isn't it? Signposts now. They're all changing.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Lamps closed.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I heard that. I used to do all their accounts for them.
One of my good friends just got a job at Noah.
Oh, really?
Noah. Penrose. That's Penrose.
I used to work at Noah.
Oh, so you're from Penrose?
I am. I'm
Oh,
Michelle.
This is Michelle.
Hello.
No, sorry, I'm Jenny.
Jenny.
Alexander.
Oh, okay. Hi,
I'm
Jenny.
doing former tenant arrears.
Oh, are you?
So I've been sort of like coming across people's names on Penrose, and I'm like,
Oh.
what the heck are they?
Well, it's good. It's
I
not.
didn't
expect that to go like that.
And I've been talking to Adelaide, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, it's not. You know, when you don't have that faces, it's all
Yeah,
names.
definitely.
I've had the elusive one because she doesn't know if she's coming or going at the moment.
Oh no.
On the good side, my daughter's baby's grown.
Oh,
which is
thank
good.
God.
Yeah.
No, I'm a grandma, so I was both my granddaughters. I was at their birth, so I had to hang around. I said to my manager, "If the baby comes, I've got to go."
Yes, I'm like that.
Thank God she come. Both of them
Yeah.
come at weekends.
Oh,
so
right, yeah, makes like a little bit easier.
Yeah.
What, is this council tax?
Yes, she should be. She might be here next week. She could go full term. We don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I'm on call for the office, so you have to put in my phones, guys.
Okay.
So it's this. We're dealing with 18A Norton Road.
I never brought me blooming bins. Your screen's so tiny. What's that say? 867. Yeah.
Right. Okay. My seat went down really low, hence why I'm sitting on the floor. I've had to do it stereo. Right. First of all, Mr. Ferguson, 18A still isn't let, is it?
Well, there's things going on there, but that's not what we
Is
came.
anybody in there?
Well, that's not what we came here to talk about. 18A, is it?
Hang on, because it is. So moving forward, there will be a tenant in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Absolutely
yeah.
correct.
So that's
Very
what.
There's no one in there at the moment.
No, but they will be.
Right.
It's very, very soon. So
That's fine. That's
yeah.
not good. So yeah. So as soon as you know who's in there, Mr. Ferguson, I need a tenancy agreement for that one. So
Why do you need it? Why do we have to deal with you after this situation?
well, you don't have to if you don't want to. You can do it.
Well, after this episode, which I found to be quite painful and quite unfair and unjust, I definitely don't want to deal with you, and I definitely.
Do you want to deal with me this morning, or I can get somebody else?
Absolutely, because I don't want to actually make this thing drawn out, and I don't want it to become like unnecessary. I'm happy to deal with you
Okay,
today.
that's fine. Balls in your court then. What do you want to do?
I want you not to be difficult with me,
Right.
because I just told you the honest truth. Do you take offence at me being honest with you?
No.
Okay, great.
But I'm not here to be abused either.
Well, I wouldn't abuse you, and I'm not abusing you, and I'm
Right,
just
that's
being
fine.
honest with you, okay? And I'm sorry if you take offence of my honesty. What I'd like to do is to resolve the situation. The first thing I'd like to
Right.
know, please, is on what date did Anthony come into the office, and did he sign a statement?
Right, under Data Protection Act, I can only give you certain information because I can't give you any information about Mr. Johnson.
I appreciate
okay?
that.
Because if I gave you the information, then I would be breaching data protection.
Of course.
I've already told you in an email that I copied in to Michelle and whoever else is on the emails, I don't know who they are,
Yes.
that Mr. Johnson notified the council on the 5th of April that he left in 2009 in April when his benefits stopped. I've also advised you that we closed Mr. Johnson's account from the October 2009 when the post started being returned, and nobody has ever said anything different.
Okay, can I apologise, because I do get confused easy. I appreciate you said there was some contact between yourself and Anthony Johnson. When we first came here, I remember, I think I remember correctly, you said that he came into the office and signed a statement.
I can't remember actually, so just bear with me a second, I'll just have a look.
I should have printed the email off actually, because there is dates on that
Yeah.
email. Yeah.
Can you print it
And I can go and get it. I can do, but I can't get into. Bear with me just a second.
once you, and then I can pop along and get it for you if need be.
Sorry, what was your name?
Jenny Alexander, or Jennifer Alexander.
Thank you. I've just got to find the information.
You're on back to you doing previous tenants.
I do council tax and former tenant rent arrears.
Okay, I need to chat to you then, because I've got a...
I've got loads for Penrose.
Have you? Okay. You have to take my email.
Yeah.
I've definitely got a client.
Yeah, it was actually a phone call that Mr Johnson made, and he stated he moved out, this was in April 12, when he stated that he moved out in April 2009 when his benefits ceased, and then he was no fixed abode until October 11 when he was given a new tenancy agreement and moved back in.
So
now I have the new
3 years later.
I have the new tenancy agreement,
Yeah.
and it clearly states that he moved back in, I think it's the 21st of October 11. So there is a gap. He did confirm that he was resident since 2006, and at which stage the property was 2 flats, ground floor and first floor. That we did a visit out there and we spoke to Mr Johnson and Mr Ferguson. This was back in 2006, and then there was something about the property being converted back into the house, and there was a big discrepancy on whether it was 2 flats or 1 house, and there was numerous visits done out to the property and they couldn't get hold of anybody until they did a final visit and spoke to another gentleman. Just bear with me. When did that happen? Because they kept trying to visit.
Yeah.
This is prior to Mr Johnson contacting, and they spoke to somebody else. Bear with me a second. Right, there was a visit done in a visit done in 2010. The notes are somebody at counter. I think Mr Johnson stated. Sorry, Mr Ferguson stated Mr Johnson no longer living at 18 Norton Road.
Could I stop you?
He left ages ago.
Could I stop you there?
And we should contact Mr Franklin, the landlord, for more details.
Okay.
Who's Mr Franklin?
I'm not certain who Mr Franklin is. You just said there was a visit at the counter.
They think it was you. This is in 2010.
They think, because I most certainly 100% would never ever come into the council to say that Mr Johnson no longer lives there, because he did live there, and at no time did he move out of my property until 2015.
Right. I can only tell you what's on here, Mr.
No,
Ferguson.
but I know. I just need you to clarify things with me, and I need to understand: is this assumptions that are being made, or is this a factual situation? Now, you said you think it was Mr.
No, that's the
Ferguson.
notes.
This is the notes, and this is other people that are putting notes
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
anyone that comes in, someone will add the notes on.
This is from our inspector.
I
This
appreciate
is-
that. I'm sorry. I mean, I appreciate that. I'm saying obviously there's some documentation about this situation which is incorrect, because someone just said someone visited. If I heard you correctly, you said somebody came into the council. You think Mr. Ferguson and said that Anthony Johnson.
No. This is what the notes say.
Yeah, I know, not you. I'm saying the notes say that. Yes. Now the notes are wrong, because at no time whatsoever did I come in to the council.
Well, maybe it wasn't you then.
Okay, but when you say you think Mr. Ferguson, that leaves, all
That's
kinds
what
of
the
things.
notes say.
So, okay.
So whoever saw
Isn't
it,
that
the
a
person
visit?
said
No,
they
it's
think
a
it's
visit.
you.
Okay, but
They
what,
assumed it was
I
you.
know, but what I want to do is, it's important that the issue.
So Mr Franklin wasn't the landlord.
No, not at all. I've never heard the name Mr. Franklin.
Who is
before.
Mr Franklin? This is
Well,
what's
whoever
going
they
on.
spoke to said we should contact landlord Mr Franklin for more details.
Okay, first of all, he
Mr.
wasn't a
Franklin.
landlord, and it's so important that the history of this whole episode is documented correctly. So when it's looked at in the future, we have accuracies that we're.
I don't know. I didn't work here then.
Again, I'm just talking about the notes. I'm going to ask you a question now. Who is responsible for making those notes? Is there a reference? Is there a name of someone?
It's just a visit result. It's just whoever the visitor was at the time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that when you make your notes, is it attached to a reference and an officer at the time? For
Yeah.
instance, who's the officer there,
But he
please?
doesn't work here anymore.
No.
I don't know who that spoke to them at the counter. I don't know if it was the visitor that spoke to the person or what. The notes are on the visiting report. That's all I can tell you.
Is there a reference though for that?
Sorry?
Is there a reference for that report, which is incorrect? Is there a reference for it?
No, it's just a note saying that it's been done.
But who made that note?
It's just done on the account number.
A visiting
A
officer.
visiting officer.
So somebody at the counter, at the
No,
front.
a visiting officer.
This is-
Somebody
this is
that
on
goes
the-
to the
Oh,
property.
so somebody went to the property.
Yeah, a visiting.
No. This is somebody. They've gone to the property, and then the note on there is that somebody at the counter. So I don't know who it was. They assumed it was Mr.
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Johnson, Mr. Ferguson. Sorry.
Okay, so because I just want to be taken out of the arena of assumptions, and because this whole thing is based upon assumptions, and I want it to be based on facts. So I need to know what reference is there with regards to what you just wrote.
Your council tax reference.
And that is there a heading for that particular article?
No, they're all under your council tax account number.
Yeah, but you've never just, I'm not going to, I don't want to prolong this because I know you said you're on call, but you've just said something and it said they assume Mr. Ferguson, and I want this assumption. I
can't change it. I can't take it
know
off
you
here.
can't change it. Yes, I know you can't change it, but I know things can be changed. Yes.
Unfortunately,
You
that's
can't.
written, that's
It's
handwritten,
handwritten on the-
it's on a proper document, handwritten document from the visiting officer.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So that's like, we've taken that at face value of that visiting officer. It's not something that we've done,
Yeah.
it's what that visiting
Can I get that?
officer's
Let's
done.
copy that letter, not today, but could you
It's
send
not a
me-
letter, it's just a statement.
Could I have a copy of that statement
Yeah, we do a Freedom of Information Act. A Freedom of
You'll have to
Information
fill in a
request.
form.
It's £10.
to get?
You have
Anything
to,
on your account, yeah.
Okay, all right then. Could you just read that to me one more time, please, so I get the facts right when I go and question
Yeah,
it.
it's fine. Someone at
And the
council.
date? What's the date of it?
Round about the 20th of April, 10
No.
I think it is. There's
You
no
s-
date on the actual bit of paper.
There's no date on it.
not on the paperwork itself,
No.
The 10th of what?
but it was put onto the system on the 20th of the 4th, 2010.
20th?
Of the 4th, 10, 2010.
But
Okay.
it's got the dates of the visit and everything on there.
It's on the other bit, yeah.
Yeah, on the other bit, so.
Okay, so it just says somebody at the counter, I think Mr. Ferguson stated Mr. Johnson no longer living at 18A Norton Road, left ages ago. We should contact landlord Mr. Franklin for more details.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Franklin. Okay, well, I can tell you now that is all just somebody.
Why would they do that?
Well, who knows? Actually,
So
Johnson,
do you know a Mr.
I've
Franklin?
never heard that name before. Never ever heard that name before, ever. And we all know that Mr.
But you
Franklin's
just
not
said you're not getting into Mr. Franklin.
that name. Because I don't know who he
Right,
is. I've never
okay.
heard of him.
All right.
You know. Okay, so I got that. Thank you for that. Now, I dispute. I don't want to take liability. Somebody else's responsibility for a bill that doesn't apply to me, and I feel the basis upon which you've actually put it on me seems like you guys or the council making me the easy option for recouping money on somebody else's bill.
If I just explain to you about council tax liability,
Okay.
we have a thing what's called the hierarchy of liability.
Yes.
Okay, that determines who's liable to pay council tax.
Yes.
Normal situation, it's the person in residence. Okay? If
Okay.
you own a property and you are the resident owner,
Yes.
you are liable.
Yes.
Then what happens is the hierarchy goes down and you get a tenant, you get a licensee, eventually you get down to a squatter, and the squatter is liable.
Okay.
If that property becomes empty
Yes.
or unoccupied,
Yeah.
the liability then returns back to the owner or the leaseholder, depending on if it's a flat or a
Yes.
house. In this case, the liability is with you because it's unoccupied for that period.
But it wasn't unoccupied.
No.
You said if it
it's
becomes.
determined that it's unoccupied and
Yeah.
there is nothing provided to the contrary, then we
Yeah.
make the landlord liable. All the parties involved then have 21 days to notify the council of any changes in
Okay.
circumstances. If they don't do it, they could be open to a penalty, or if
Okay.
they give false information, you could be prosecuted for doing that. We have never, at that point, been advised that Mr. Johnson either remained in the property or returned to the property.
Okay.
I have never, in the whole of the conversations that I've had for you,
Yeah.
changed what I need from you. I need a tenancy agreement and I need rent statements. Okay, as I said to you on the phone on Wednesday this week, you would have had to have kept those under law for the inland revenue. You have to declare all your income from a rental property. Okay, if you do not do that, you could be open to an inland revenue investigation. We also spoke about SOPAM management, which you told me was your estate agency.
No, I never told you that.
Yes, you did.
No, I never.
But if you were an
Excuse
estate
me, can I
agent,
stop you? Let's
No.
speak with accuracy. I told you I used to own an estate agent.
Yes.
I didn't say that SOPAM management was my.
Mr. Ferguson, you did.
I
But
didn't tell you
if you owned an estate agency, you know under law that you have to keep accounts.
No, I
for an
don't. Again, you're
accountant.
making assumptions. Just because I
No, I'm
owned
not.
an estate
I'm not.
agent,
So
it
if I
doesn't mean I
contact
know about
inland
letters.
revenue,
Yes.
there'll be a record of the company that you had, and there'll be what's the word I'm thinking of? Income. There'll be accounts, that's what I'm thinking of, that you provided at that time.
I have no idea. This goes back
Right.
a long time.
The latest tenancy agreement for Mr Johnson was written from SOPAM Management, which I understand is Mr Johnson's, or was, sorry, Mr Ferguson's business.
No, it wasn't.
So
So management wasn't
right,
my business.
okay, so it wasn't Mr Ferguson's business, but if he is renting a property through an agency, they are under an obligation by the